Hey there, this is Jacques from Heroes and Legends, and welcome to day 2 of official Oath of the Gatewatch spoilers. So we'll be putting out a video every day that we have new spoilers. We know at least on the weekdays for the next couple weeks we will have them, and then a week from Friday when the full set is spoiled we will do our full set review and hopefully get you prepared for the pre-release. So if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, definitely a good time to do so. And having said that, we have some new cards to look at. So we have 3 brand new cards, we have some alternate art to look at for cards that were previously spoiled, and we have a couple cards that were leaked in the past that have now been confirmed. So let's jump in. First, we're going to look at some art that we have not seen before. This is Munda's Vanguard. Now, we talked about this card yesterday. We saw the Oath of the Gatewatch spoiler for it, but this is the intro deck version, which we had a little picture of, but it was a tiny picture. So here's the larger version. Next we have Deep Fathom Skulker. Again, this is another card we talked about yesterday, so I won't go into detail, but this is the Oath of the Gatewatch version. Yesterday we saw the intro deck. Next we have Dread Defiler. Same story as the previous card. We had the intro deck version yesterday, and now here is the Oath version of the card. Tyrant of Valakut. Again, another card from yesterday. This time we're looking at the intro pack version. Yesterday we had the Oath version. And finally, a Gladeheart Cavalier rounds out this cycle. This is the intro pack version, and yesterday we looked at the Oath version of that card. Next, we're going to look at some of the promo cards. Now, some of these have previously been spoiled, and we have discussed them in previous videos. First, we have Goblin Dark Dwellers. This is actually the Buy a Box promo. We've seen this one before. The Launch Day promo is Endbringer. Again, this is another card we've seen before, although this is a better photo of it. And for the Game Day Top 8 players, they will get a copy of Full Art Jory and Rune Diver. This is another card we saw spoiled yesterday, but this is a very nice looking Full Art card for anyone that gets into the top 8 for the Game Day events. Speaking of Game Day events, here's the playmat you will get if you win your local Game Day event at your store. Next we have Nissa, Voice of Zendikar. Now we've talked about this before in the past when it was leaked, so I won't go into crazy detail, but some things have changed. For example, that -2 ability seems a lot more relevant now that we've seen more cards from Oath of the Gatewatch. Feels like there's a certain strategy in Oath where you're encouraged to go wide, get a lot of small creatures, and then pump those creatures, so this plays very well into that game plan. And some people, when this was leaked, kind of felt like it wasn't really powerful enough because it only had 3 loyalty, but quite honestly, I think this is a very powerful card. Costs 3 to cast. I think that's what you're overlooking there. It only costs 3. Granted, it's only 3 loyalty, but it instantly becomes 4 and can protect itself with a token. That's pretty powerful. I think this is the main reason Elvish Mystic is not in our standard environment right now. You couldn't be able to print this card with Elvish Mystic out there. You'd be able to put this thing down on turn 2. That'd be insane. So this card is very powerful. It's going to be a limited bomb, and it is certainly going to see standard play. Next is Seagate Wreckage. Again, a previously spoiled card, finally been confirmed, and this is actually pretty cool. I like this a lot. You put this into play, it doesn't come into play tapped or anything. You can tap it for colorless mana, which definitely matters in this environment. And once you empty your hand in the late game and you're just looking for some gas, you can pay a colorless and 2 generic to draw a card. That's kind of awesome. It's almost like a reverse Library of Alexandria. Now, Library of Alexandria is good because it lets you pick cards, additional cards at the beginning of the game, but this lets you do it at the end of the game, which is still really, really good. So watch out for this one. I think that some people are underestimating the power level here as well. I think this will be great for you in limited. I think it's strong enough definitely to see standard play, and it could potentially even see some modern play. It's that good. I would not be shocked if it sees some legacy play. I'm really thinking this is going to be a sleeper card, so watch out for this one. Now we're going to move on to our brand new spoilers for the day. And the first one was spoiled from a Spanish language card, and it is roughly translated Eldrazi Mimic. Costs 2 generic. It's an Eldrazi 2/1. Whenever another colorless creature enters the battlefield under your control, you may have the base power and toughness of Eldrazi Mimic become that creature's power and toughness until end of turn. Okay, I like this a lot because It's going to work very well in limited when you're trying to build that ramp Eldrazi strategy and you're trying to get up to these big Eldrazi's. This is a nice 2-drop that's going to work awesome in your curve. It's going to let you maybe chump block something big while you're trying to get your engine going, or perhaps trade with a 2 toughness creature, and that can be very important when you're trying to build up to some big things. So I think this is an enabler in some ways to make that deck better. Now, it's a rare, you're not going to see it all the time. As far as standard goes, I don't think it's quite good enough to work in that Eldrazi ramp deck, just simply because it doesn't have evasion. So it'd be nice to just be able to beat down with this thing, but without evasion and a standard format that is pretty heavy in removal, I don't really see it becoming a thing. However, I will say if you go back a little bit, you can find some cool combos with this card. And if you're thinking about Legacy, there's a little card from Tempest that this would work very well with. And anyone who's familiar with Phyrexian Dreadnought, simply you can pay 1 for a 12/12 trample creature, and its only drawback is you have to sacrifice creatures with total power of 12, or else you have to bury Phyrexian Dreadnought. So this could come into play the same turn even as the Mimic. The Mimic becomes a 12/12, you sacrifice the Mimic, and there you go, you get a 1 casting cost 12/12 Trampler. So something to think about, Legacy players. I think that would also be a very good combo to include in a cube to see if it could get drafted and somebody could make that work. Probably a more powerful cube, but very cool concept that this could work very well with maybe a number of cards from Magic's history. So that's where this will probably really shine. All right, the next new card actually is the Game Day Participation promo. So that's what we're seeing here, and it's Immolating Glare. 1 white and a colorless. It's an instant destroy target attacking creature. It's at the uncommon level. This is very, very good. So I don't have to tell you in limited how good cheap removal is going to be. The only drawback is you have to wait for the creature to attack, but in most cases that's just fine. This is all about getting rid of those big Eldrazi's. When a big Eldrazi's coming at you, you can just simply pay 2 mana and just destroy the attacking creature. That's pretty awesome. I think this is more than powerful enough to see play in standard. This is just a huge removal spell, and it's good enough, I think, to perhaps even cross over into modern, maybe modern side decks. But this is going to be fantastic and a big player in standard going forward. Finally, the last card of the day is Runes of Oran-Rief, and this is a rare land. It enters the battlefield tapped, and you can tap it for colorless mana, but you can also tap it to put a +1/+1 counter on target colorless creature that entered the battlefield this turn. So I like the versatility here. Now, a card like this, you want to be careful that you're not overplaying too many of these in your deck if you're running colored spells, just so you don't find yourself in a situation where your deck's getting too slow. However, if you're running a number of colorless creatures, then having 1 of these in your deck, or maybe even 2 in certain decks, might be good. So where's this card looking to live? It's definitely going to be fine for you in limited. It's a rare, so you probably won't get multiple copies, but you throw a 1 of in your limited deck and it helps maybe bolster some of your colorless creatures when they come out. That's pretty cool. And it's also dedicated colorless mana, which we know is going to matter. And on top of that, I don't really see a place for this in, say, standard or anything like that. It's just going to slow the deck down. But Commander, I could see some Commander decks that could run something like this. So it's a little bit of a niche card, but it's interesting. I like the design here. And having said that, those are the spoilers for today. So we'll be back tomorrow with another video with all new spoilers from Wizards. And until then, hey, please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day.
Hey, thanks as always for watching. This video, like all my videos, was made possible by the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Even a donation of $1 helps me to keep growing this community and creating better quality videos for all of you. Check out our Patreon page for exclusive giveaways and future goals for the channel. If you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the MTG news, spoilers, set reviews, product openings, or finance videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a good day.